Okay, we're going to be jumping right into our first example problem in Module 8. It's going to be called Example Problem 20. Yes, this should be public right now. And I don't really think this is a overly demanding little example problem showing how we can use different bullets on a listed to add bullets to a web page. So I'm going to jump into the bullets and numbers and letters. And so if I scroll down here, a basic overview on Canvas, how you can get to the assignment. And again, I'm going to be asking you guys to go here to upload the file. And you should have to try to do screenshots and the actual file example 20. So if I jump to module 8, I'm already logged in and I'm scrolling down. This is the area that we're going to do the first example problem. Okay, so I'm going to right click and open, and I think I already have this tab opened up. Okay, so a little generic saying that we're going to be creating bullets and bulleted in a number to help create structures in easier way. So to get a functional test drive example problem, I'm going through the same steps that I've done in last module. We're going to find our test drive 19. Okay, we're going to copy and paste it. We're going to make a settle change and then rename it to 20, and then try to load them both up. Okay, so if I go over right now to my programming file folder inside my module web development folder that I'm telling you we can continue working on. So I found my test drive 19. So I'm going to right click over top of that, and I'm going to go copy, and then I'm simply going to go paste. So I now have pasted example 19. So I need to make a subtle change to this. So if I go right click and rename, now folks, I'm going to keep the dot, again, keeping the dot HTML extension, and simply make a subtle change, changing 19 to 20, and I'm keeping the .html. I'll click away. I now have an active file that I'm really going to proceed on with. So if I go back over to the notes, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to open the Notepad or open the web page and then open the Notepad to get a split screen effect so we can start this process. So this first half of these notes are setting the stage of going to example problem 19, copying and pasting and trying to open it up. So if I go back there, and I'm simply going to triple click and try to launch this test drive. And understand, I see example 19 that loads up, which had what we did last class period. We kept it on the last example problem 19. We put on the banner, we put on the little logo of the crest of Battlefield High School. So I'm going to go back to that file again, and now I'm going to right click that you see in the notes. I'm going to go open with, and I'm going to be selecting Notepad. So I'm going to go ahead and select Notepad, and then the Notepad would open up as well. So I'm going to start off by making some minor changes to this. You can see that this is no longer in the flyer box example 19, it is 20, okay? So I'm typing in 20. And again, this is going to be about dealing with bullets. So the test out bullets and numbered items, okay? And so I'm simply going to bring back the flyer box. So I just switched out the purpose of this because that's what we're going to be dealing with, okay? So if I scroll down and I'm looking through the title, I'm getting to the title, and you see the example problem 19 here. Well, it's no longer 19. I'm going to make a subtle change. Inside the title tag is where I am. I'm making a subtle change to 19, deleting 19 and typing in 20. So my web page, if I quickly save, okay, I'm going to save this document. If I go to the web page that I'm building, I hit refresh, I now can see that this page is also referencing as example problem 20 as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put myself in split screen real quick, and so I have my code in my browser in a split screen. I can easily go back to the notes, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit of the notes. And I'm first going to address where, and it's not really documented in the notes, in these notes. I'm first going to address where I want us to start. So if I scroll all the way down, okay, ladies and gentlemen, all the way down, we did external links. Let's go below external links. We did internal links. Let's go below that until we get to something that we did in here, page jump, okay? And almost towards the end to the closing table tags, okay? So I'm just simply going to push enter a couple times to create some space that I'm going to be doing some copying, and I'm going to be building in this area right below the end of page jump, okay, as I proceed into these next tags. So, again, I have some yellow boxed areas, and I have some point of interest that I need you to review with me moving forward here. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and start with the listed items, okay, and do a copy and paste and discuss this a little bit. The listed item is dealing with the UL, and that's the unordered list. When you try to make a bullets that are, doesn't have any sort of order to it, or you just jotting stuff down, you can see here, item 1, 2, 3. This is example how it should look. So I'm going to simply go ahead and copy, and I'm going to do a couple copies here. I'm going to do a copy, and I'm going to paste this over, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit. So I brought my spacing down, and I'm going to clean this up by taking out the spaces here. In addition, I'm going to go up and copy an internal comment tag, just one right up above that says page jump link to, and paste it right above. And I'm going to make simple adjustments to this by simply typing in bullet list. And so I'm then going to copy it again and paste it maybe a space down below and put N. So this is indicating to me that this area right here is all relevance to bullet list. So what I've done is I copied this first structure, that's the yellow text under the listed item, bullet list, and I pasted it, and I created 2 internal comments real quick. So now I'm going to file save, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm working at the very bottom. I'm building at the bottom. So my results are going to show up on the web page below these links, okay? And in fact, one note here, I'm going to scroll up and find a horizontal line, and I'm actually going to put a horizontal line right above the bullet list. So it's a little bit of a separation. I'm doing a line of technique, a little bit of separation. So that's the HR tag, horizontal reference, and I had that color purple, but you're not required to have any color in here. So if I go over again and save this notepad, jump over to the browser now, ladies and gentlemen, and refresh my browser, I'm physically going to have to scroll down to the bottom to see my results. And you see it. Now, the default bullet without any changes to the icon is, like a circle. It's a round dot, okay, bullet. So if I flip back over the notes, there's more to the notes with the bullet list, and it's dealing with what I call a cascade, okay? And there's several methods, and in this method right here, I'm using style, okay? Style equal list style type, which is a circle. So by all means, by me using that, let's quickly address what's going to happen. This is an attributes here, okay? This is an attributes. I'm highlighting that area of style list type, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to bring it over, ladies and gentlemen, to the URL address, the you unordered list, and paste it right in there. Okay, so by me having a style, and this is a cascade style of a circle, let's see what happens in this change here. I'm going to go file save. I'm going to go over to the test drive. I'm going to refresh. And if I scroll down again, now actually the circle is giving me a circle with a hole in the middle. So the bullet, it doesn't really look like a solid bullet, okay? And that's basically reflecting that it is a circle in this aspect, okay? So if I go back over the notes, and I just want to let you know, really what creates the circle is the disk. The disk is like the default in this scenario. So a disk is a circle, okay? But let's see if we can't change. I'm not going to use the disk. In this case, I'm not going to present you guys a disk, okay? But what I'm going to do so I can see it show up in another time, another method, I'm going to copy my current structure I have here. And I'm just simply going to go one space down and paste. So I have the duplicate of this structure of items 1, 2, 3 again, and 1, 2, 3 again with the same structure. But in this case, I'm going to use square, okay? So I'm going to come in here, make a subtle change to the circle, and simply type in square. So I deleted the circle and typed in square. Let's see if we can see this number list again by me going File, Save, you going over to the browser and refreshing, and you should be able to see now the square. So in some sense, we started with no attributes of the style, and it gave us a bullet. But by all means, disk would do that. Okay, so it's kind of funny. Why would you use disk if the default is a bullet circle? Okay, so that concludes the structure, and I think this is what you should have. You're showing me 2 types of bullets on this bullet list here. I'm now going to move on with the numbered list, and you can be using letters too, and this is what the OL is all about, and that basically stands for ordered list. Okay, it's an order to it. There's a hierarchy. What comes first must go second, third, fourth. Okay, so there's a little bit of an ordered list to this approach. So I'm going to do this again. I'm just coming down on the Notepad, setting the stage, and I'm going to, let's say, copy this internal comment tag and paste. So I have 2 internal comment tags that are the same, but I'm now going to delete the word end and bullet and type in numbered list, just numbered list, okay? And I'm then going to copy that structure and paste it down below with some space and type the word N, okay? So this area right here, I'm going to be working with the next structure, which is an ordered list. So let's go ahead and highlight this yellow structure here of the OL to the closing OL, and this, you're still dealing with item 1, 2, 3. It could be anything. It could be cat, dog, mouse, any type of cake, cookies. All right, I'm just making it simple with item 1, 2, and 3. So I'm excuse me, I didn't copy it. Try that again. I'm going to go over here and copy it, and I'm going to go into Notepad and paste it. Okay, I'm going to clean it up again. Somehow it's bringing in some spaces, so I'm going to just take out the extra spaces so it brings it and defines it a little bit. So this is what it looks like. So I'm now going to go File, Save, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go over to my test drive, and I'm now going to refresh. Okay, and I have to scroll back down again, and you should see it now gives the default of those numbers 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is the default, just like the default was the a circle, a black circle, which is the disk, referencing those bullets. Okay, so by not putting in any attributes, it's giving us a hierarchy of those numbers. Okay, so if I simply go back over to the listed items and I jump down to discuss the attributes again, okay? And now I could use the style attributes again, but I'm presenting a different type of attribute, which is type, okay? And you could see type here, and you may have hard to see this, but this is a capital I in here, okay? It's a capital I, like Roman numerals, okay? And so what I'm going to do is simply go ahead and let's, before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to keep this structure. We're going to have it a couple times. I'm going to copy it, the structure down here, and paste it again. So we have 2 of the listed items that say listed item 1, 2, and 3, okay? So, but this time, on the second one, I'm going to add in the attribute. So I'm going to go over here. I'm physically going to type it this time. And I'm going to type the word type equals quote a capital I equals, quote. So what I have here and then what I entered in is a capital I. So I'm going to go ahead and go file save and see the test drive, refresh. And again, if I hit refresh, you now are able to see the Roman numerals 1, 2, and 3. All right, so I'm kind of curious. Well, how will it affect if I put a item 4 or 5? Will that show me those different types of Roman numerals? Let's go ahead and experience that. So I'm going to highlight, coming back over the Notepad, I'm going to highlight and paste this twice. I have highlighted the last one down here. I copied it and I did a paste, but I want to change number 3 to number 4, number 5. So I have a sequence of 4 and 5, just generic, so I can see what the Roman numerals look like if I get to the number 5. So I'm going to go file save and see if this is working. I'm going to go to my Notepad and I'm going to refresh, and indeed you can now see the Roman numerals projecting the same way. If I had 3 and 4 and 5, it would have put 3, 4, and 5 in this first one up above as well. Okay, so I'm going to go, I'm flipping back to the notes, ladies and gentlemen. That is experience the Roman numerals. What about if we use a letter and we have changed the I to an A, if that works? Okay, great, let's try this. But once again, instead of me trying to just do a manipulation, I want to do a copy and a paste again. And I'm bringing this back down and typing in, copying and pasting. And I want to, so I can see all of the different listed items on my test drive. I'm presenting them to you here. I'm now going to switch out. So I did a copy and a paste. I copied it and I pasted the same structure, and I'm going to make a simple adjustment with that I and change it to the letter A. So I go file save and I go to the test drive page and I refresh, and now you should see a sequence of A, B, C, D, E in a manner of speaking of how that's working. So I'm going to use A, and I'm going to use I again, okay? So if I change this to the letter lowercase a, does it give us that sequential of A, B, C in lowercase? I'll go file save, and I'm going to go to a browser and refresh it. And you can see how it does switch to the lowercase a's. If I go back over and let you know, there's a Roman numeral lowercase I. It sometimes uses a lot in outlines. And if I put a lowercase I there real quick, and let's see what happens, save, refresh, we're probably going to see the lowercase Roman numerals being applied there, as you can see as such, okay? So I'm simply going to take it back to the capital A just for practicality, and I'm going to save it and asking you guys to do the same thing. So this sequence of ordered lists, we can see 2 orders that have done at this point right here. So I'm going to move on back to the notes. So as I conclude with this last structure, you can see that it's a combination or combo list where you're dealing with unordered lists and ordered lists kind of sorted together. Okay, ordered list, unordered list merged in together. So I'm going to once again set the stage, come over here, do an internal comment tag, paste it in here, and I'm just going to type in combined list. Okay, I'm going to copy that combined list, just paste it down below, put an end, so tells my internal comment this is where it's ending. All right, so you know, not much fancy. This is what it's going to look like when we clear it out, and these main headings can be anything in terms of a listed item. So I'm going to highlight the combined listed item here, come over to the combined and paste it in, and I'm going to clean it up again. I'm just simply going to go in between each spaces and to extra. I don't know why my copy and paste is putting extra spaces, but I'm simply taking out those extra spaces. This is the main structure, how it should look, okay? So we have a main heading and a second heading, and they are, for the most part, the listed items that are on the ordered list, okay? So if I go ahead and hit a file save, I come over to the browser and I hit refresh, we then see a structure of a ordered list. Now, again, we can have some format applied in here where there's no format of the font face or anything. So there's, we want to use a different font face. We most certainly can. Okay. So long story short, this should, for the most part, conclude the notes. You can find more notes in dealing with listed items. I have a link here that I'll open up and you can define a little bit more. But for the most part, go ahead and get yourself back to Canvas, where you're going to then be trying to upload this file in the Dropbox, for example, problem 20. Go ahead and try to, I see my directions down below, go ahead and try to take a snapshot of what you've done here. You can see here that it has these listed items. And if you want to go up here, folks, okay, here's an idea. Once you go up here right below this below and say, here are some listed items that I am learning about. Okay, so it gives you some sort of, I'm giving you some sort of heading here, and I put in a P tag in there. So I'm going to go file save. I'm going to refresh this page. Now we have some sort of generic type in here. All right, so do your best to screenshot this area, put in a Word document. You probably don't have to do all the code, maybe screenshot the code that's right here, but do your best. I know this code is long and lengthy, but 2 files that should be uploaded. This file that's example problem 20 and the Word document that has some screenshots of your work product.